Good afternoon, folks. I am Sean in Alaska. Thank you for joining me today on this, what's turning out to be a chilly Sunday. Holy smokes. I woke up this morning and it was 0, and I was not really ready for that. It wasn't 0 inside, but temperatures coming back up, and we're like this close to breakup. It is so close. It's good to see you guys. The way that I normally do this is I like to say hello to everybody in the chat. So I'm going to start well back at the beginning. If you've got a question, I'll answer it as quickly as I can. And if it takes a little bit deeper, I'll let you know, and maybe we can exchange emails and do it that way too. And then if I miss your question, do me a favor and leave it again in the comment section in caps. And then that way it'll jump out at me. Don't worry if I've already answered your question. After you ask it a second time, I'll just skip over it the second time. With that said, Richard James, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. And it is a dream, but sometimes it's a nightmare, but not lately. Lately, it has been incredible. For those that don't know, I am in the cabin full time now. I still have stuff in the fifth wheel trailer, and I saw a question down there about that, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I am living here full time, and it is freaking incredible. It is absolutely incredible. Rebel Canners, glad you can make it. Al from Glasgow, Scotland. We are live, but I just wanted to say, Al, good match today. Scotland versus Ireland in Six Nations rugby. But man, Ireland just exploded in that second half. It was just awesome. I didn't catch the actual live game. I just was following the score along as I went because I don't have the ability to stream that here without paying for it, and I don't want to pay for it. But yeah, good match today, man. Ireland is tough this year. Taylor TM, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for that. Let Al know that we hadn't started yet. Genova, good to see you as well from rainy Pacific Northwest. Lipstick Lodge, how are you doing? Yes, you are still green. And if anybody wants to know what the green is, I've pinned a comment onto there. I have channel memberships now, and you can become a channel member. There's I think 3 different tiers, but there's no pressure to ever do so. And don't think that if you're not a member, you will not see everything that members see. The way I'm doing it right now, and I haven't done a whole lot with it, is there's some posts that I've put out that are member only posts to begin with, and then I will repost that again so everybody can see it afterwards. But it's just kind of a little thank you for the guys, for anybody who's willing to support me. I greatly appreciate that. So yes, you are still green, and that's probably from Al last week, who gave a whole bunch of memberships away, which was super cool. Making dinner and turning on the Jenny soon. Nice, right? Generator life. My generator's on while I do this, and it's nice because I can top off all my batteries and everything too. Joseph, good to see you, my friend. Awesome to have you here. Canadian Jerry, thank you for joining this afternoon. As always, awesome to see you here. I think you should put the wallboard up on the side of the house that is getting the window reflection first. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. And that's probably, actually the bedroom is probably going to be the first room that I get everything finished in. But when I do anything else, that is the wall I'm going to do it on first, because I've got some neat plans for that. I think they'll turn out pretty cool. Matt, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I don't need a DIY headboard. I actually have a headboard for that bed, and I was looking at it today. And that bed was graciously given to me by some friends that are getting ready to do this same adventure over on the Kenai side. So I'm over on the Soldotna side of the Kenai River, but they posted it for sale, and I told them, hey, I'll buy it. And they said, you can't buy it, you can have it for free. So I told them, well, if you let me grumble like an old man, I'll take it for free. But they gave me a headboard for it too. So definitely, I was looking at that, matter of fact, about an hour ago to see what parts I needed to get it attached to the bed. But the headboard's going on there, but there is some DIY in the bedroom now, and that will be in next week's video. Lipstick Lodge, I'd be turning the bed around so I could look out the window in the morning and check out the stars at night. Did you even see the thumbnail for today's video? Because that's exactly how the bed is now. And I can tell you, it's pretty incredible when I go to bed at night to be able to look out that window and see those stars in the sky when we can't see stars. It's just phenomenal. And I wake up right now before the sun comes up, but eventually the sun will be coming through that window to wake me up in the morning too, which is super awesome. That turned out much better than I could have ever planned. Mike McKinley, good to have you, my friend. I'm doing fantastic. Yes, I am almost out of the fifth wheel. So I did not put a big rush and decide I was going to move everything out of there in one day, because I have a lot of little stuff in there, and I'm going through it and seeing what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. And if you follow the channel for any amount of time, you will probably know that this time of year, when I start to dig clothes out of the back where they're stacked, they're frozen solid. So I have to take them to the laundromat and wash them. So I'm slowly but surely getting everything moved into here. And like I'll be sitting, like last night I was doing something and I go, oh, where is that? Oh, that's in the trailer. So I went in and grabbed a few more things out and brought them in here. But I am living here full time now, which is super awesome. And it'll be nice to have that trailer completely empty. Maybe put a bookcase on the headboard behind the bed near the edge and the ladder. That's not a bad idea. I kind of like that. Although I will have bookcases downstairs. And again, I did some DIY stuff you'll see in Friday. That answers part of that question, I think. Art from Deep South, Alabama. How you doing, my friend? Awesome to get your pictures the other day. Yeah, spring. I can't wait for it, right? I am so ready for spring. So ready for spring. Nettie Goat Acres, good to have you here as well. Awesome to see you. Hello, Carol. How are you today? Camp Bell Off-Grid. Mark, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Right, Art's spilled in a place up here, actually in Funny River, so not far from me down the road, and he'll be up here in 6 weeks. I can't wait to see you, bud. It's going to be awesome. We're definitely going to have some fun grilling, and you need a hand out there. I'm definitely your man. I'll help you out anytime I can. Definitely. Just to spend time with you guys is always awesome. Built on the Rock Homestead. Good to see you. Awesome to have you here today, Miss Karen. How are you doing this fine day? Awesome to have you here. Anna, thank you for joining me from Georgia. Awesome. What part of Georgia? I've been to Georgia. I was in Macon. I was in Warner Robins, and I forget where the other little town was, but I met somebody online years and years ago, and I flew out to meet her in Georgia, and Georgia's kind of neat. Georgia's a neat little state. Canadian, let's see that happy living in the cabin dude's face, right? Does it show? Am I giving it away? Big Bear Prepper, good to see you, my friend. Awesome to have you here today. Sunshine, hope you and Warren are doing well. Good to have you here today. 22 degrees. And almost sunny. It's 59 in my loft. It's 64 here in the kitchen, and outside it's 15 degrees right now. But later on, I think Friday we had really nice looking temperatures. I'm thinking a high of like 35 and a low of like 22, which means we'll get some good melt, and I could do some stuff outside. And it's St. Patrick's Day Friday, and I'm off. Awesome day. Stephen Grounds. Steve, man, good to see you, buddy. 75 degrees in the sunshine. Right on. Joseph again, how are you, my friend? Hello from Philly, currently 38 with a mild breeze. First day of daylight savings time, right? I despise daylight savings time. And if you live in Alaska, you would despise daylight savings time too. Because, first of all, let's be 100% honest about this, because I always get an argument with my ex-sister-in-law over this every year. And she laughs at me. Daylight savings time does not add any time to your day, right? All it does is move the clock. You get the same amount of hours as you would have had of daylight without changing the clock. What it does in Alaska is it's just a nuisance because we have to change our clocks, because we're going to be to the point right here where I'm having 12 plus, the sun won't set till 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, and it'll come up again at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I don't understand why I need to change my clock for that. That drives me insane. Richard, yay, 9 p.m. here in Wales, UK. Awesome, man. Awesome. Countryside Acres Homestead, how are you guys doing today? Aaron and Anissa, awesome to have you guys once again this week. Very cool. Sean is spicy today. I don't know what that means, but okay. Wendy Benjamin, good to see you today. Firefly Farm, Lori Austin, good to see you as well. I'm looking kind of blue today. Don't make me break out into that song. My daughters made me hear it over and over again when they were growing up, that I'm blue. Never mind. I'm not going to do it. Brook Trout 1, how are you today? Good to see you. From Venice, Florida. Nice, right? Florida's a beautiful. Pictures I've seen of Florida show it to be a beautiful state. I've never been there. I've been to a few states, but most of the places I've traveled are on the West Coast. Everybody's enjoying the weather. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Love it. R.E. Hill, how you doing, my friend? Oh, spicy. Yeah, there we go. It just dawned on me. Right? Yeah, when the spices are brought in, obviously I want to cook in here, right? I can still use the trailer for cooking if I need to, but man, it was so nice to not have to dig through a cupboard for spices the other night when I fixed dinner. I just reached behind me, grabbed what I needed, boom, 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 put it right back. I could see everything. Super awesome. That's not going to stay. Obviously, like I said before, that's temporary until I get the cabinets and everything built in here. But spices on the outside is definitely going to be a thing I think I'm going to have. William, good to see you, my friend. It's awesome to be in the cabin. Super awesome to be in the cabin. Whiskey Harbor, good day to you as well. And speaking of Warren, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Kitchen area looking like a kitchen area should, right? Got some pots and pans hanging on the wall. At the end of last Friday's video, that's the last thing I was doing at the end of that video, was hanging those pots up on the wall there. Destiny, good to see you. Awesome, awesome to have you here today. I'm finally in the cabin. Yeah, I am. I need to go back and watch some of my bread making videos, trying to dye some homemade, or I'm dying to try some homemade bread. I really hope to do a lot more of those as I get this kitchen finished, because I love homemade bread. Super awesome. But if anybody wants a simple recipe for a traditional Irish soda bread, and the only thing that's not traditional about it is I use raisins instead of currants, there's a video that I link to on my community tab, or you could just search the Sean in Alaska page for Irish soda bread. And it's a super simple recipe. A couple of the viewers, I think, made it. I know Grace did, and she messaged me back and said it was fantastic. Super easy to make, especially with St. Patrick's Day coming up, right? Peace Journey, how are you? Good to see you today. You know, I don't know, because somehow I became unsubscribed. And he's Coffee and Chat. He's talking about City Girl, who is Russell at Raspberry Off-Grid's wife. So she's got Raspberry Rock AMSR, and she does a Coffee and Chat. I didn't get a notification for it. Somehow I became unsubscribed to her. So I got resubscribed last week so I could be there for the cheese tasting, but I didn't see any posts on it. I don't know why they weren't live today, unless she had to get back to the city. Oh, Fayetteville, home of Chick-fil-A. Nice. They got great sandwiches. I love their food. Thank you for that very much, Karen. It does. I always like it when somebody says this so I can go into my spiel about it. If you click the thumbs up, the like button, if you have the ability to do so, I don't know how you do it on a TV. But if you click that, YouTube says, hey, this is interesting. Let's suggest this to other people. So it does promote the channel more, which I greatly, greatly appreciate. Warren wants to know what string instrument would I like to learn to play first. For those that may not have caught the video last week, I showed the musical instruments that I own, and I own a 5-string banjo, a 6-string acoustic guitar, a mandolin, and a fiddle, violin. The only difference between really a violin and a fiddle is how you play it or what you play on it, from what I've been told. But I'd like to learn the guitar, just because guitar sitting by the campfire, sitting out on the deck would be kind of nice and peaceful. Whereas the banjo might get bears to attack me. I actually play a little bit of banjo now, but I want to learn how to play them all. But I'd like to play a couple of tunes on the guitar. That'd be a ton of fun for me. Matt and AK need breakup to come as soon as possible. Dying to get up there and look at that cabin in Cooper Landing. Nice. Yeah, I would be super, super happy. I mean, we're trending in the right path right now, right? So every day I'm noticing some more and more melt. And again, in next week's video, I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I saw. And I'm breaking ice up, and I'm starting to get stuff freed up again. But I would just like to be able to get working outside, and not be trapped with just working inside the cabin. So yeah, break up, get here quick, please. MKP, last year I retired, moved from Alaska, but it is what it is. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm happy that you retired, and hopefully you moved to a place you wanted to be. I will probably be here till the day I die. I love it up here. It's just a phenomenal, phenomenal place for me. It'd be good to hear the temps in degrees C, and I'm sorry about that. I actually normally look all that up and type it in there on the bottom before I do that. And I'll probably start posting some of that on the videos. But I don't know what the formula is for it, but I can tell you that 0 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees C is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So probably, like right now, we're probably at minus 15 or minus 20. Yeah, probably closer to minus 20 C. David Evans, good to see you, my friend. Awesome to have you here today. And I'll try and do a better job of that too, Richard, going forward. I definitely would try and make sure I do that better. See, I like when everybody's saying hi to everybody. Jonathan Davis, how you doing, my friend? Awesome to have you here today. Yeah, don't worry about running late, man. You get here when you get here, and you stay for as long as you can, and I greatly appreciate every minute you're on here. You did not miss a cabin tour. Not yet. There's really no tour this week because most of what I did is upstairs. And I was actually going to do, well, it's not mostly upstairs, but it's like in all the other rooms and not in the kitchen, although that's new behind me. Probably next week when I do the live, I'll do it from the living room because I did a bunch of more stuff out there, and you'll be able to see more next week. Jerry McKenzie, good to have you, my friend. Awesome to have you here. Right? Yeah, spices. Hey, thank you guys very much, man. Greatly appreciate that. Morton, how are you, my friend, today from Oslo, Norway? Good to see you. Marcus, good to see you as well, my friend. Everybody's saying hi. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything here. Mike saying the weather here in Ontario, Canada is not great. We got a ton of snow for 2 days. Sean, do you still have a lot of snow? We do. I probably have about 4 feet of snow on the ground out there. In some places, I have less where I've run the snowblower where it's really open, but probably about 3.5 to 4 feet of snow. David's in Georgia right now. Awesome. Fishy, how are you today? Good to see you. Awesome, awesome. Oh, I wish I would know where on the and man, I'll have to write it down the next time Russell does it because Russell's like he'll pull up a remote control and he'll telling you up, down, right, left, left, and then hit enter. I'll have to pay more attention. Kathy Stafford, good to see you. How are you doing today? From Michigan. What are my plans for heat in the cabin? I plan on a wood stove. So the primary source of heat is going to be a wood stove against the front wall where the door is, like right in the middle. And then I'm going to back it up with a vented propane heater so that I don't get all the added moisture into the air. As far as moisture in the cabin goes right now, every day I've been able to open up the upstairs window and the front downstairs window with the heater cranked up and got a little bit of roll in the air in here. And I've managed to drop the humidity to, well, right now I'm at 43% downstairs. Yesterday I had it at like 37%. So it's drying out now more and more every day. But that's the plan for the eventual heat to get away from this wet, open air propane heating that I've been doing. But you do what you got to do. And I will have that in before next winter. Scroll through here. Everybody saying hi again. Susan, how are you today? Awesome to see you. Bear Attack Banjo. Never heard that before. From Canada. Awesome to see you. I don't know, right? I mean, I could be sitting out there on the deck playing, and then, hear a moose go, do whatever it does, and then the next thing, and then you hear a bear make its noise, do the next line, and then a wolf howls. It could be good. We'll have to see. Oliver Jackson, good to see you, my friend. Awesome to have you here today. I'm in the cabin with the frying pan. It's hanging on the wall. I'm going to show you guys a tip in next week's video of how you can cook when you run out of propane on your little propane stove. And then I'm going to show you why you should never do that. And then I'm going to show you how I actually realized I'm an idiot and in fact could hook up my propane stove to a big bottle. So you're going to get all of that next week. But yeah, pots and pans in the kitchen. There's a difference in the bridge for a fiddle and a violin. It's easier to play pairing notes on a fiddle. Oh, okay. I didn't know there was a difference. All I knew was I saw it listed and I looked it up, and there was really not a whole bunch of difference that I could find in the two. And I don't know that I'll ever learn to play it, but if somebody ever plays it and they know how to, if somebody ever knows how to play it that's over at my house and we're sitting around the campfire, I got it and they can grab it and start playing. I think it'd be a ton of fun. Oh, nice. Very cool. Very cool, guys. And I'm going to do it again right now because you brought it up. So if you like what I'm doing and you think it's pretty awesome that I'm doing this here, you need to check out Countryside Acres Homestead because they're a wonderful family with wonderful children who bought a huge, beautiful piece of land. And they are doing everything that I want to do, but they're doing it on a grand scale. And it's fantastic. And Aaron and Nisa are just awesome, awesome people. Like I said, their kids are fantastic. Check out that channel because you will definitely enjoy yourself over there. They're great, great folks, and their content is super awesome. And he's got a sense of humor. It's probably why I like him so much, is because we can laugh at each other all the time. Because his sense of humor is like mine. Well, I'm an idiot. I did it that way, and now I got to fix it. Yes, eventually I will be going solar here. Camp Bell Off Grid's asking, am I going solar? So there's a couple of issues with solar where I'm at. Obviously, during the winter, it's not going to be beneficial to me at all. Very, very minimally, because our days are so short. And then during the summer, it's going to be ultimately beneficial because our days are so long. But when I'm getting all the power, I don't really need it as much in the summer because I'm outside doing more stuff. So I am going to be solar here. but I'm still going to have the generator to back me up as far as that goes down, for the winter months. But yeah, definitely. Almost, right? I need a real stove. And I found a line on one, and I messaged the lady that was selling it, and they're out of town. So when they get back, she's supposed to message me back, and then I'll run down to Homer and pick it up. But then once I have an oven in here, it's a real kitchen. Richard, leprechaun whittles. I made a few in advance of St. Patrick's Day. Nice, nice. Oh, see that, Matt? Right? You don't have to bring yours if you don't want to. I got mine. You can use mine, man. Sit around a campfire. I'll drive up to Cooper Landing. We'll kick back by a campfire up there by the river, right? Oh yeah, that'd be awesome, man. That would be a ton of fun. Big Bear Prepper, just a thought, but if I put mirrors in the big wall, the sun from the bedroom windows, it'll light up the whole cabin. There's a good thought too. That's not a bad idea at all. It wouldn't be a bad idea to put maybe a row of mirrors, like a line to separate what I'm going to do at the top and the bottom. I only get a few hours of sunlight in that top window a day right now, and I don't know what the difference is going to be going forward throughout the whole summer because the sun moves a lot up here in Alaska. But I do have a window over on that side. I'm going to have the kitchen window here, and I'm now planning on possibly putting some windows in on this other wall since I don't have a staircase going up there. So I'll have a ton of natural light, but I kind of like that idea of reflective light, especially in the winter. That would be super cool. Trudy, glad you made it. Awesome to see you here. Watching from Georgia. Very cool. Very cool. Two kinds of countries. Those who use a metric system, those who have landed on the moon. Yeah, but I got to be fair here, Warren. When NASA was building a rocket, they didn't build it by inches, right? They built it using millimeters and centimeters, my friend. In science, it is always metric. It is always metric. I like that. I like that. Thank you very much, Kathy. I greatly appreciate that. I greatly appreciate that. That is super, super cool. They should swell. You guys are awesome guys. Todd, what's happening? Back from town. You already picked up Brother Will. Already dropped Brother Will off at his car. Very cool. Thank you for doing that today, too. He thought I had all kinds of stuff going on, but I told him I wanted, if he needed to ride into town, I'd do it after the live today because I had planned on a bunch of work this morning. I was going to get out there, fire up the generator early and start making cuts and everything else. And when it was 0 degrees, I said, well, I'm not doing anything there today. I'll wait till it warms up. Oh, cool. So just by changing that bridge out would be the difference of going to a violin or being a fiddle. See, I'm learning something. I love when I learn stuff, folks. It's awesome. The U.S. is one of the last countries to stick with the imperial system and has its own gallon size, right? Also, though, I've never heard a Canadian contractor use the metric system when they're measuring wood or when they're talking about dimensional lumber. I've only ever, in every Canadian building channel that I've ever watched, and obviously a lot of the off-grid channels that I watch are in Canada, they all talk about 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x8s, and they measure things in feet, and they measure their cuts in feet and inches. So, Canada's kind of one that uses both, I guess. They do, Mike, and they just had a new one. Congratulations on that too, by the way, Aaron and Anissa. Very, very awesome. Kevin Wright from Mount Pleasant. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you very much. I like this. Now that you moved into the cabin, when you adopted a mutt? I don't know. I have so much I want to do right now that I need for when I get a dog, not if, when I get a new pup, I need to be able to be outside a lot. So that won't happen until at least after breakup, because I want that pup out there with me. I want that pup growing up with the chickens and knowing, getting along with them and having no issues with them. So nothing will happen now until at least breakup. But man, I would love to have a pup again. I would love to have a pup. I need a pup for this house. I definitely need a dog here. Karen wants to know what's on the menu for tonight. The same thing I had last night and the night before, cheeseburger. I got a great deal on some marked down grass-fed 85-15 ground beef. It was a 1 pound package. So I split it into 3 and made 3 big burger patties out of it. And then I bought some ciabatta rolls. So last night I did them on the barbecue, or no, the night before last I barbecued it. Last night I did it on top of the on top of the buddy heater because it got too late. And I said, no, I'll just cook it on the stove. And I was making a pot of tea and realized that, whoops, I was out of gas. So I did that on the buddy heater. And then tonight I'll probably, I don't know, I'll probably grill it. We'll see. I'll probably throw it on the barbecue though. Okay, yeah, standard is board feet. There we go. She's a cutie too. All your kids are freaking good looking too, man. I'm glad she gets that from an. I'm glad they get that from Anissa because Aaron, it's not you, man. It's not you. Campbell says in Canada we use either metric or imperial depending on who we're working with. Don't want to disappoint anyone, eh? I like I said, all I've ever heard is I've never heard anybody say, "Hey, I need this board cut, 1 meter, 23 centimeters, and 9 millimeters." I've never heard anybody, call out measurements like that. It's always, "Hey, I need this board cut 6 foot 5 1/4 inches." Scotty, another great channel, guys. And Scotty, since you're a mod, do me a favor. I need you to share another channel too, because I tried to share it last week, and for whatever reason, I couldn't get it to share on my page. But share your channel, Scotty's Backyard Barbecue, because if you guys want to learn how to cook some awesome, awesome food outdoors, Scotty is the man to watch. He's got a great YouTube channel, and he's actually grew up in the same area I grew up in. So, we've both got the same kind of attitudes. It's all about yum when we're done, right? And then Scotty, after you share out your channel, if you would do me a favor and share out Countryside Acres Homestead, so that anybody who's interested can go check them out without having to look it up. Thank you, by the way, appreciate it. Jerry says, getting into trouble. Sean will get a dog once he has a dishwasher he likes. Oh, dude. I don't know where you're going with that, but if you're going where I think you're going, I'm not going to follow up on it. Yeah, but I can't drive over and get it, and you can't drive over and give it to me. I mean, she'll be full grown. I'll just send you money to feed her, and we'll just call her my dog. Gray Wolf Outdoors, good to see you, my friend. Glad to have you here. New name. I don't know if I've recognized you here or seen you here before, but greatly appreciate having you here today. Matt, very important question. Do I stock Knutson's cottage cheese at your store? No. I don't think I've seen it anywhere in any of the stores that I go to in Alaska. So I know exactly which one you're talking about because that was my favorite one for years. But I haven't seen it up here. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen their sour cream, and we don't have their buttermilk. I love their buttermilk. Thank you, Todd. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, so I had funny story on it, right? So I'm using the stove, this little camp stove, and it uses these bottles, right? So Todd was over the other day and we're talking, and he goes, I can fill those. And I go, I want to come over and I want to see how you do it, and then just have you send me the link from Amazon so that I can fill them myself. And we got to talking to BS, and he had the bottle, and he took the bottle home, and I had the other one sitting here. And then this one ran out on me last night. Well, I got to thinking, this is the same bottle that I use in my buddy heater. And I'm not using the other buddy heater right now, but I have the extension cord that connects the other buddy heater to a 5-gallon bottle or a 5-pound bottle of propane. So I just connected that. So that's what I've got running. I've got the big bottle of propane on there now. But I definitely want to refill these and get those from Todd too, because I'm still going to go camping this year, right? And I'll take the stove with me when I go camping, but I don't want to have to take the big bottle of propane too. It's just a hassle. Where are we at here? Miss Karen's asking how the family's doing. They're doing fantastic. I talked to my mom yesterday. Was it yesterday? Friday. Yesterday. No, it was Friday. I talked to my mom on Friday because I was sitting out by the campfire because I did get the first campfire of the year going. Got the whole pit all cleaned out and everything else. And she's doing fantastic. Talked to both of my daughters. Actually talked to my youngest daughter, Ashley, just before the live got started today. And everybody's doing fantastic. Thank you for asking, Karen. Greatly appreciated. Cindy, how are you doing today? Good to see you. Watch next Friday's video to see how to cook on the buddy heater, how not to cook on the buddy heater, and why you probably don't want to cook on the buddy heater. But it works. It did work. So, but yeah, I I just had the wild idea to try it because I thought I'd seen a video on it. And apparently I did not. And apparently I didn't think of, or I didn't realize how they actually did it on top, but it can be done. Steve, good to see you, my friend. Awesome. Thank you very much on the comment for this week's video. You know, there's other YouTube creators in here, and they'll understand this a lot more, but you guys will get it too. So every time we release a video, you're watching it and you're seeing how it ranks once it starts to rank, and how it ranks based on your last 10 videos. A lot of times mine will start out with, you know, it ranks 8 out of your last 10, and then it'll start to jump up and usually if I get above 5, you know, it ranks 5 in my last 10 videos, I'm pretty happy. This one, I don't know what happened, but it went to number 1 and it stayed there, and I'm pretty happy by that. I really like when they do that, because that means that it hit a note with you guys and you enjoyed it, and it hit a note with other people and they enjoyed it too. So we're always, man, on that first release day. That's why a lot of times you'll see me answering comments about an hour after everybody starts leaving them. I'm hammering the comments and I'm hammering the answers because I'm looking at it so often to see how the video's doing. But thank you very much for that, Steve. Greatly appreciated. And here's where you guys can find Countryside Acres Homestead. Scotty shared that link for me. Thank you very much, bro. I greatly appreciate it. Francois, how are you doing today from Sarasota, Florida? Awesome to have you here today. I miss the options on lives when you could just click the name on the channel. And it used to be that while you were in a live, and YouTube took it away because everybody was subscribing to everybody, and you know, they didn't. People were building entire lives based on subscribing to other ones. But you used to be able to just right-click on somebody's name, and then a window would pop up, and you can click subscribe. And I miss that too, because in something like this, when I mention Scotty's Backyard Barbecue or I mention Countryside Acres Homestead, you guys are watching the live, and if you could just right-click it and subscribe to it, you can go find it later, right? You can see the content pop up, and you can say, oh, that's what Sean was talking about. I'm going to go check them out. I think they did themselves a disservice when they got away with it, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about that now. David, feet and inches is very specific to construction and carpentry, but the rest of Canada pretty much uses the metrics. And that's what I thought it was, David. I thought it was. And for those that don't know, David's in Canada too. So we're thinking of heading your way for a road trip, Sean. We can bring her along if borders open, that is, for everyone. Our border's open. Yeah, we don't have any restrictions in Alaska at all at the federal border there. None. But man, I'm kind of real partial to getting a pup because I want her, or him, or whatever it turns out to be, from little growing up around the animals and everything else to big, so that I become its partner and it becomes my partner. So yeah, definitely. I appreciate it, but definitely let me know if you're coming to Alaska, because I'd love to get together with you guys. It'd be great. Yeah, Taylor, I agree. Click on the name option, report to not subscribe. At least let me pick between the two. Exactly, right? That would be super cool. But unfortunately, the people at Google don't listen to what I have to say. And good, Scotty shared his link as well at Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. Matt says, I have a large bottle adapter for your Camp Chef stove. Good thing I have to even have on hand. Right. And that's what got me to thinking about it, was I thought, man, am I going to have to go buy one of those tree adapters where you can connect all your propane stuff while you're camping? And then I went, wait, I don't really need to do that. I've got an extra hose in the house on the other buddy heater. Very cool. Brook trout 1. I've warmed up venison stew on a buddy heater ice fishing, right? But you have to do it right. You can't do it the way Sean did it. And I didn't even realize what I did until I'm sitting here just munching on this cheeseburger right here at the table. And I get up and I look for my paper towels. And when I turned and look at the buddy heater, I went, oh. Definitely. Nettie Goat Acres. I was drying my buddy's socks by my buddy, or my socks by my buddy heater. I do a lot of that, right? I'll hang something above them. There's one thing that I don't know if it's just me or if it's men in general that we appreciate more than anything in the world, and that is putting on a pair of warm socks. So I have been guilty of hanging socks above the heater so that when I get up in the morning and I go to grab them, they're almost hot. To slide them onto my feet, the feeling is just incredible. Cat Mac, how are you doing today? Awesome to have you here today. Speaking of Russell and Raspberry Rock Off Grid, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I'm glad I'm living in the cabin too, man. What a difference. And so the reason why I held off moving into the cabin was because there were some certain things I wanted to get done first. And I was really afraid that if I moved into the cabin, I would just be in my own way. So let me tell you, after a week of living in a cabin, what the reality is. That since I've been living in the cabin, I've probably gotten more done in the cabin in the last week than I have in the last 3. Because every day I come home, I'm in the cabin, I just start doing something. And then, I'll run out to the trailer and grab a few things, bring them in, or I'll look in the trailer and say, okay, what do I need for those to move those out to the cabin? And I come in the cabin and I build it and then I move it. So yeah, I think it was good. I didn't move in until I did, but at the same time, I'm glad I moved in now because I'm getting so much more done. It's crazy. It's crazy how much more I'm getting done. That's good to know, Mike. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I think since, America and Canada are neighbors and, we're pretty much the same people. We just have different governments, right? They shouldn't have any border issues at all. We should be able to just drive through. Hey, Pete. Hey, Mike. How you doing? Good. Have a great day. Where you guys going shopping today? Yeah, we're going to go shopping over here today. I've never understood that. I've never understood that at all. Definitely, Scotty, if you're still in here, I would greatly appreciate it if you would share Camp Bell Off Grid as well. Matter of fact, any channels you see in here, Scotty, by all means, feel free to just share their link. Camp Bell Off Grid's got a super awesome cabin, though. He sent me a link to one of the videos where he did like a little cabin tour. And it's freaking awesome. His layout's freaking awesome. It's a beautiful place. Built on the Rock Homestead. All this talk about heaters. I'm sitting here trying to figure out who can go help me install my window AC. Right? It's a big country, and there's just weird weather everywhere in it. Right? Okay, it's not just me because Matt's the same way. Comfy, clean socks. Socks are it, man. That's what they're all about. Scotty, my socks for the day go onto the floor heater vent. Ladies, chime in. Or is this a big deal for you, or is this just a big deal for us guys? Because between super toasty warm socks or hoodies pulled right out of the dryer when I'm doing my laundry in town, and my hoodies come out of the dryer and I take one and I pull it up over me. Life is good. Ward, good to see you, my friend. Awesome to have you here today. D Stu, how are you today? Thank you very much, man. I greatly appreciate that. I'm truly living a dream, definitely. And I shared. I don't know if I can pull it up and look at it. I shared a post the other day that on my personal Facebook page and on the Sean in Alaska Facebook page. And if you're not a member of the Sean in Alaska page on Facebook, I invite you to join. It's usually down in my notes below my videos. There's a link for it. I invite you to join, and it's there's not a lot of I try and post there a couple of times a week. But basically the picture post that I have, and I think I'm gonna have it put on sweatshirts because it's super cool. It was basically be brave enough to suck at something, which means gamble. If there's something you really want to do, take the risk and do it. Don't worry about how bad you are at doing it. I'm the master of that. I'll tell you right now that I am terrible at everything when I do it the first time. But try it, enjoy the trip to get to where you want to be, and realize whether or not that's something you want to do or not want to do. Because you could try something and say, hey, that's probably not what I want to do. But you could try something and go, I like this aspect of it, but I don't like that aspect, so I'm going to go this way. Don't be afraid to try. That's the big thing. Just try whatever you really think you're interested in doing. Everybody's saying hi to Ward. Rebel Canners, I put a hoodie in the dryer just to wear it under my coat before I left the house yesterday. Right, Cat Mac? But I think you're missing the point here. It could be 110 degrees outside, and I want my socks. When I lived in California, I want my socks right out of the dryer. I want my feet to get super, super warm the minute I put those socks on. A chipping hammer for your ice. I just used lightning for that the other day. I was out breaking some stuff up, and I was using Thunder. Thunder is the name of my maul, and Lightning is the name of my hammer. And it was named by a viewer because he said, "You got to call that hammer Lightning. It never strikes the same place twice." But yeah, I was just using those to beat ice off of stuff yesterday, or Friday and yesterday, to try and get it to start thawing out. You know, it's crazy, right? So I'm not a young man, young in heart, young in mind, I think. But I was born in 1962, and I was mentioning, I think, the other day, and it might actually be talking about it in one of my videos, that when I went to college, and I did go to college for a while before my oldest daughter was born, I was taking a computer information systems class because I'd never really used a computer, and people didn't own computers and have in their houses all the time. And I was writing programs on a floppy disk that was 5.5 inches, right, in each direction. And they called it a floppy disk because it literally flops. Well, that little disk would hold, I don't know, 512 megabytes, or 512 kilobytes or something like that, which is ridiculously small. And this holds 128 gigabytes, which would be, I don't know, maybe 12, maybe 24 videos that I release would fit on one of these. It's crazy, but it's like anything else. My kids at first had to show me how to use the phone, right? Because I had a cell phone, but then when I got a smartphone, they're, "No, Dad, do it like this, do it like," and they showed me how to do all this stuff with it because that's what they grew up with. There's so much more into that than I ever was. But when it comes to technology now, I blow them away because I use it every single day to create videos, to share videos, to let people know that I have videos. So it's amazing that the more often you use something, the better you get at it. It would be like me learning how to play the guitar. If I practiced every day, like I should, I'd probably learn how to play it, but I get busy doing everything else. So it's priorities, right? Wherever your priorities are. Thank you very much for that, D-Stu. Much appreciated. Everybody's saying hi to Ward again. Yeah, that's the other thing for me, right? Shoes being dry. And the one thing that I've missed being in here, because when I was in the trailer, was this black rack. Let me spin this around here for you. Just kind of show you. That black rack there is the same rack that I had by my door in the trailer. So the buddy heater used to sit to the side of that, right? To the side of that rack. On the rack. It used to sit to the side of the rack. So I would put my shoes that I was going to wear on the top of that rack, whatever I was going to wear the next day, so that every morning when I would get up, I'd grab those shoes, they'd be toasty warm. Well, I don't really have that option now because it's over here, and I don't really want shoes on my counter or on my rack full of food. So I've been putting them on top of the scaffolding in the other room. And last night I actually took them and put them upstairs next to the bed, and it stays a lot warmer up there, obviously. So yeah, warm shoes in the morning. Warm shoes in the morning are huge. Yeah, I don't have that option because I don't have a dryer here. But if I did, I would do that too. Just before I got ready to watch maybe a movie or something on a couch when I lived at my old place in California, grab something nice and warm like that, throw it over you, and snuggle up on a couch. Oh, life is good. Well, okay, to be fair, that's just when I get up in the morning because, once I'm going to go outside and do stuff and it's that warm, I'm not really wearing shoes per se. I'm wearing like flip-flops. So there's no real socks on my feet from that point forward the rest of the day if I'm not barefoot completely. That was the funniest comment I think I've ever had on one of my videos. I get a lot of comments when I'm wearing the kilt about, what are you wearing a dress for? Whatever, I kind of know that when I wear the kilt, and especially when I wear it out here in public, and I get the looks, most people are like, "What the heck is that guy wearing?" But that comment about the hammer just had me rolling. I thought that was so funny, so well thought out. 99% of the time in sandals, no socks needed. Yep, there you go. Right. Right, Scotty. Yeah. So I do shorts, and I don't do them all the time. I've been bad about it, but I want to do 2 a week. And there's a reason for that, right? So if I keep giving people something more than once a week, I think it may introduce people to the channel that have never seen it before, but it's also a glimpse into what's happening in my life in Alaska at that moment. And I think that for a lot of people, that's interesting. So I use a program on my phone called CapCut. So Scotty's trying to get into it too. And there's a learning curve, right? There's a learning curve with everything you do. But once you get past that learning curve, and this is back to that whole do something that you think you might want to do. Once you get past that learning curve, you learn that either A, okay, this is interesting to me, or B, I don't ever want to do this again. And when you get to the that's interesting to me, if you're even remotely the kind of person I am, that something interests you, you want to find out more and more and more about it, you start to get more comfortable using it. And that's just the whole thing with everything that I do. You know, I've never built shelves in a closet that I built in a house that I built. I've never done any. Every time I'm doing something here, it's something new. But I will stumble through how I think I'm going to do it, and then I may change it halfway through it because I look and I go, wait, that's not going to work. But I eventually get to the end goal, and that feeling when you get to the end goal is just awesome. It's just incredible when you actually pull something off and you do it. You learned a program in college that no longer exists. I was writing programs in DOS, and it was crazy because I was 35 years old when I was in college. I mean, I didn't go to college right after I got out of high school. I was working full time, but I wanted to give myself a leg up at the time. And I bought into the whole, you need to have this and you need this and you need a degree. And so I went to school, and man, everybody, I was like, there was me and an older lady that were in this computer information class. And this was, by older, I mean my age at the time, 30, 35, somewhere in there. And everybody else in the class was like 18, 19 years old, 20 years old. And so I'll never forget, we're told we have to write this program. And it was just a basic address program, that will, do this when you get it out to the computer, and you'll have to test it. So we had the parameters for what we're supposed to do. It was explained to us how we were supposed to do it. So everybody went running out to the classroom, or out of the classroom into the computer lab, jumped on the computers and was doing all this stuff. And me and that other lady were sitting in that room writing everything out. And probably about 30 minutes later, we get up, we walk out about the same time. We get up, we walk out to this computer lab, and we insert our disk, we type in all of our information. We basically wrote it all down, what we were going to write, what we were going to do in our program first. Typed it all in, pressed run, and hers and I were the only one that got it right. But it was that generational difference, right? But that was using DOS. That was crazy. And since then, I've kind of embraced technology, obviously. So I've learned a lot more. Al, man on the street, how you doing, my friend? 3.5 and 5, 3.5, 5 and 5 and a quarter. That's for some reason familiar in my head, and I don't know why, Al. Whipple one, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Geez, guys, I started computing with IBM punch cards. You win. You win. Wow, crazy, right? Al too. I probably would have started with IBM punch cards if I would have gone to college right when I got out of high school. Was that you that honked? I thought I heard a honk. Karen wants to know how the ladies and the black beauties are doing. Did I get some eggs today? Yes, Karen, I did. They're doing fantastic. You guys want a chicken story? Let me tell you about the story of Sean versus the rooster, because I've been pretty lucky, and he's been pretty awesome since forever, right? Since I had him, I've never had any issues. This week, he decided that he was going to assert his dominance over me. And he's lucky he wasn't fried chicken, because I walked into the coop, and right away he attacked my leg. I go, dude, what are you doing? Right? So I reached my hand down there, to pet his back like I do all the time, and went after my hand. He was just being mean. So I kind of scooted him with my leg, like, no, calm down. So finally I got to a point where I reached down, picked him up, and I threw him in the snow. And he lands in the snow like 20 feet away, and he's just looking at me like, what the heck happened? And he's been fine ever since. But yeah, Sean 1, Rooster 0. But the chicken's doing fantastic, Karen. Doing fantastic. Something about building your own home from bare land or the ground up is super. It is so awesome, man. It is so, um, and 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 I'm going to go on a limb here and say it's even more um, rewarding to somebody who's never built anything before. I mean, because in your case, I can see the reward difference that I didn't have, and that was you're putting a roof over your family's head, and you're creating a future for your entire family. In my case, it was just me, but I'd never built anything before. There are so many aspects to doing something like this that any person on the planet will find absolutely rewarding when they are done. And I swear, I honestly believe that. It's a fantastic experience. Even and I'll even say that building the chicken coop was an incredible. Every time I walk out and I see that thing, I go, I built that. I made that. That was me. And I'm going to tear it down this year. But but it's just so awesome to start a project and complete a project in your life. I cannot say enough good things about that. Mike, thank you very much, man. I hope you have a fantastic week as well. Okay, AK Wash Keaton, awesome to see you. Must be older than you. You learned Fortran and Basic. Wow. Okay, you know what? It wasn't DOS. It was Basic that I wrote that program. It was not DOS. It was Basic that I wrote that program in. But oh my gosh, punch cards, very cool. Oh, 5 1/4. Well, there we go. I thought it was a song. For some reason, it was like 25 or 6-4 was stuck in my head. But yeah, 5 1/4. I've always called them 5.5, but they're 5 1/4 inch floppies. They went from those to what? The 3.5 inch, which was the other comment that you'd made, which were, they called them floppies, but they were rigid. Yeah, it's technology's crazy. It's amazing how fast it accelerates. Henry Leslie, Vermont, good to see you, my friend. Sean Alaska are talking mainframe days. And you know, and Williams comment here, good prior planning must be a lost art. And I don't think that even when I was in school, I don't really think they taught people how to, you have an idea, how to plan that idea out. And I'm talking in regular school, not college and aftermarket school. How to take an idea in your brain, plan it out, figure out as many of the aspects to that problem as you possibly can before you tackle it. And that's a shame, because I think that actually has helped me. Doing this has actually helped me get a whole lot of things in my life straightened out that were not bad to begin with. Because when I moved here, I had most of my stuff ironed out that was bothering me. But it has gone a lot further to clearing everything up. Now, when I do something, I actually sit there and I think to myself, okay, what do I need to get that done? When do I need to have that done? How am I going to make that? So my brain automatically goes into that whole cycle. And I agree completely. Planning. And then when you're done with that, plan some more. You learn basics. Okay, never wanted Fortran with punch cards. Northern Girl Hobbies, good to have you here today. Awesome you can make it. I say no, boy. Scotty barbecue chicken time. I was 30 when I got my IT bachelor's degree. I thought I'd be the oldest in the program. It was actually in the middle of the age range. Wow. Yeah, one of my best friends, his name's Jeff, lives in California, or lives in Oregon now, but we both grew up in California. And he went to college late in life as well. He was in his 40s, and he's an IT. He's got a bachelor's in IT, I think, University of Oregon, and he actually works for them now. But yeah, what a difference, right? Again, it's that whole, you get to a certain point in your life and you say, I really want to do something, and you do it. And I think that too many people, when they're younger nowadays, are encouraged that they have to go down one path or go down another path, or that they get told that their idea is stupid and they shouldn't try it. Just go get a job, go do this, go do that, but worry about that down the road. And they lose a lot. I've lost a lot of time in my life with that mentality. But I'm getting it all back. And you're never too old to start doing it, right? You're never too old to make it happen. And there's another great comment. Used to have a friend who started college at 18. Same year all the guys in World War II went back to college. These guys were so serious about their education that it impacted the younger guys to be serious. right? The people you, what's the saying? Your tribe is your vibe. So true. So true. A rooster who I'm starting to think is in love with a duck. William, I tried to leash train a rooster. It doesn't work. And don't get me wrong, because since we've had our discussion, we'll call it that, every time I go out now, he actually stands back a little bit further from me. He still keeps an eye on the ladies, but he stands back a little bit further and kind of eyeballs me like, yeah, okay, okay. Will he try it again? Probably. But will he lose again? Yes. Yes, he will lose again. I just want him to stay mellow, though. Just don't attack the guy that brings you the food all the time. Man, this hour is flying by. We're already at 58 minutes. That's crazy. That is crazy. It would have made a great shorts, but I'm not filming every second of the day. So I don't know if I just gotten home from work and I bounced in there to say hi to him or whatever. So I didn't even have the camera going, but I wasn't going to record it once he started doing it, because at that point there had to be a line drawn and he had to know where the line was at. Yeah, it would have been fine. He didn't, like I said, he was pecking at me, but he wasn't getting me. It wasn't until I reached my hand down that he actually got my hand, but it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, he got me like here and here, and there's really nothing you could see there. And then the discussion was had, and then the discussion was over. Right? Yeah. Your award is doing it together as a family. We've done house renovations, did builds. Exactly. Right. That is, I'm telling you right now that your kids are going to be so incredible. I know you're proud of them now, but as they grow and you see the direction that they go, you're going to be bursting with pride, because they're just awesome, awesome children to begin with. And they have that structure in their life. They get it from their parents. I mean, my kids saw me build a cabin in Alaska. And I got to imagine, and they've told me in some occasions that it's actually made them feel like, hey, if my dad could do that, I could probably do this, right? And if I could convey that to, if all I ever ended up doing was conveying that to 20 people that have watched the video that I've done here, what an incredible, incredible life I would have had just to be able to convey it. That's super awesome to me. Super, super awesome. Scotty's got snow. We've been clear sunny skies, but it could be worse, Scotty. You could be in Sonora, because Main Street in Sonora, the town that we're from, and I know I'm running a little long here, but I just want to make sure I get to the bottom of the comments here, was literally a river running down Washington Street in Sonora. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. And the rain they've got there is just nuts. Greg, how you doing, my cousin? Good to see you. Dude, it's getting so much closer here. And I'm in here now full time, which is super awesome. Getting ready to take a walk. Icebug boots for the win as soon as we get done here. Awesome. Very good. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I greatly appreciate it. I tell Warren, awesome to have you guys here all the time as well. Scrolling through here even more. Ranger Mark, how are you doing today? Good to see you, my friend. Exactly, right? Do something you enjoy. Even if you suck at it, even if you fail at it the first 20 times, maybe 21 is your magic number, but you can't not enjoy your life if you're doing something that you enjoy. I think we're pretty much to the end here. Oh, Charles and Annalyn, how are you doing today? I think that's it, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, it's greatly appreciated to have you here. It's kind of a highlight of my week. I get to chat with you guys a little bit and let you know what's going on and get your comments and get your ideas and suggestions. I greatly appreciate it, as always. Have yourself a fantastic week. I am Sean in Alaska, and I'm going to head out the door. I got nothing else for you. I'm doing a cheeseburger for dinner tonight. I hope whatever you guys are doing is fantastic as well. See you later, and have a great day. Bye-bye.